Ladies and gentlemen, it is championship weekend here at FDL. But of course, first we have to talk about what happened in the semifinals. So, welcome everybody. As you guys know, I am KJ here, presented to you live. I am joined by a hostile takeover with my Eagle, not only teammates but my friends. Introducing first, hailing from parts way unknown, but only known to those that were here since season one. It is Southpaw. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing good, man. Just the usual, trying to relax on this Saturday, getting ready for some FDL championships.
And the second person that is here, he's number one in everybody's hearts. It is the one and only Lil Debbie, making his second appearance here on FDL Central. Are you ready for what we have in store today?
Oh man, I'm excited to talk about all this FDL action that's been happening and looking forward to what's going to happen. I'm
And
excited.
and certainly a lot of FDL action has happened within just this last week. But first, Southpaw, we got to talk to you a little bit. You have been an Eagle since day one. Season one, you were an Eagle. Season two, you were captain of the Eagles. Season three was the same thing. And now season four was here. You had no pressure on you as a captain. You were just a regular player, but yet you still returned as an Eagle. Some might ask, are you trying to fly too close to the sun, or is it that there is no place like home?
There's no place like home, man. I'll retire an Eagle, and that'll be the end of it. I mean, that's how it's supposed to be. It's home.
Once an Eagle, always an Eagle is the motto, if, at least for all of us that are Eagles. But that being said, it is a very welcomed pleasure to have you here on FDL Central. So thank you for taking the time out. But as we say that, let's move on to little Debbie. Debbie has a little bit of a history. This is his third team in his second season. So congratulations to you, Debbie.
Thank you.
You got started last season in season three. You started with the Unicorns and then you went to the Rams. You had a pretty good season there, and now you're flying high with the Eagles squad. What was it about the Eagles that made you want to join us?
Friendship, honestly. Like I knew Southpaw way back then. He was there at my tryout for the Unicorns. And since then I was like, man, Southpaw is goated, and then I played with you a few times, and from that moment I was like, I want to team with KJ. Absolutely. So going into this season, when
It,
uh when you guys hit me up saying, "Hey, I got a spot," and you fit perfectly on the roster, I was like, there's nothing better than playing with friends and having fun.
yeah, and having fun we definitely did this season. But that being said, here we are. Tomorrow marks the end of the season four playoffs for FDL. How was this season for you guys compared to other seasons? And
Well,
whichever one of you wants to take it
yeah,
first.
yeah. I mean, it was a great season. I had it was the most fun season next to maybe season one. Season one was amazing, but I mean, and even last season was good. But this season in particular was fantastic. Granted, I still get knocked out in the semifinals, but I think that's my mo these days. That's just what I do. But it was a great season, and I had a lot of fun.
Debbie?
Yep. So, compared to the previous season, for me, this season was just way more fun. Like I mentioned prior, being able to play with friends and like really just like having fun, even in our matches, just getting hype and laughing. It was great compared to last season, especially making playoffs. Compared to season three, where I missed out on I think it was game differential. But
Yeah, and go ahead, go ahead, go
yeah,
ahead. I don't mean
and
to interrupt.
and
Just
overall,
tell me
I
to
think.
shut up.
I think the addition of the Adept League was really good for for like competitiveness, compared to last season where there was only Origin, and it really created some good competition out there for league play in the overall season.
And not to say anything about that, it created a little bit of a skill gap, but that's really what it did, and that was actually a really great idea to bring in that adept league. to showcase the, maybe not the guys that have been grinding and grinding and grinding, or the guys that haven't exactly had as much luck, but to be able to showcase that middle of the pack group that is right there on the cusp of either expert league or on the cusp from being an origin league going into adept. But that being said, we're going to recap these games real quick, and then we're going to talk about each league as itself. So first and foremost, we're going to move into the Origin League. The Monkeys taking on the Seagulls. The Monkeys actually taking that series in 7, overtime game 7, 4-3. Any surprises for you guys?
Actually, I expected the Seagulls to win fairly convincingly. I figured something like a 4-2, so it's kind of a shock for me.
Debbie?
Oh yes, sir. So yeah, I thought the Monkeys took a win over the Seagulls in regular season play. So I thought maybe it might be the same thing. But when I found out that they were sending out their C lineup, J-Mans and Saucy, I thought Seagulls might walk away with the win here. But you know what, the Monkeys really proved me wrong. They showed they got that skill and they were able to adapt and come back in the series and get the win.
Monkeys winning the last 2 games in that series. J-Mans and Saucy really put on a show for everybody. But that being said, we will come back to the Origin League. We move on to Adept, where we, as the Eagles, took on the Owls. And that was a little bit of a bummer of a series, personally. But we did end up dropping that game to the Owls, 4-3. That was actually a really close series. And then the Vipers, coming out swinging, took the series over the Huskies 4-0 in a sweep. Any surprises there from you guys? Besides the Eagles losing to the Owls.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't throw, so I'm okay with how it ended. I didn't throw. I wasn't really surprised because the Vipers hit different in playoffs. You know how that is. They're built different in playoffs. Man.
Yep.
What you see during the regular season and what you see in scrims versus what you see in playoffs, different stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm not surprised.
I personally was rooting for the Vipers because those are my boys. Shout out Rico and Sticks and Deathman as well. But the fact that they took it in a sweep was pretty surprising to me. I didn't think it was gonna be so one sided. I thought the Huskies might take a game or two off of them.
Yeah, Vipers really came into that series literally firing on all cylinders. But that being said, we now move into Expert, where it was a little sketchy there for one of these games. But we'll start out with the Coyotes taking on the Eagles. I'm Yeti and Comus winning over Addy P and Bell, 4-2. And the Hydras, Local and Kaysen, both very good friends of the show, and they took on the Griffins team of Brudder and NFC Atlas. That the Hydras able to win that one 4-3 to put them in the finals. Any surprises on that one?
I'm kind of surprised that went to Game 7. To be honest,
Yeah,
I
I
thought it would
agree.
be more one sided. And also thought that I thought the Eagles had a shot against the Coyotes, but it didn't go quite as expected. But they played great.
Yeah, I'm in agreement with the Southpaw. I thought the Hydras Griffins match was going to be more one sided for the Hydras. I thought they would show up and kind of just take care of business.
Brudder and Atlas definitely had something to say about that as we move into Star League. The Hydras, the team of Shadonic and Sifri, taking out the Llama and Stoobs from the Gators 4-1. And then the Colts ended up dropping to the Owls, Magic and Laggy Puppy 4-1. Any surprises on that one?
That one feels kind of par for the course, so to speak. I feel like those results are somewhat expected, given the stats and how the teams have been playing. Both those results make sense.
I thought the Colts Owls matchup that the Colts would have taken another game or two off of the Owls. but sometimes it doesn't go that way. Owls showed up to play.
Feed and Crispy are very good together, and they play really well together. Just unfortunate that's the way that went. And now we move into the most exciting league, at least in my own eyes, the Elite League. The Dragons, Bub and Kjall taking on the Huskies. Huskies taking that series 4-0 in a sweep. I don't think I have to ask, but is there any surprises on that one?
No, sir.
Man, I'm surprised it was a sweep, to be honest. I figured they'd get at least a game or two off of them, but no, they showed up. The Huskies showed up and played.
I mean, this is also the same Huskies team that is doing what the Eagles did last season in Elite League. They are on an undefeated run,
Yeah.
looking to continue that on as they take on as they prepare. We had the Colts taking on the Hydras. The Hydras had a combo coming out. They sent Local out because there was a little bit of a mix up there with teammates. But then Folly and Azza came in and were able to take the Colts to 7 games, but dropped it 4 games to 3. So the Colts moved on. Any surprises on that one?
Yeah, I think it's kind of surprising that local
It was kind of a
came up.
mess, but you know,
Yeah, it's definitely interesting to see local come in, and he actually played pretty well in Elite League. Didn't look like he skipped a beat. So the fact that the Hydras were able to keep it so competitive was pretty pretty incredible.
Absolutely, I will 100% agree. Local played absolutely incredible in in that first game. Even though the Hydras did end up dropping that one, it was only a score of 4-3. So that definitely says something about the skill and talent of Local. But that being said, we're gonna wait for predictions for a little bit. I want to go back to the Origin League. We'll have the Monkeys taking on the Dragons. Monkeys had a rough start to the season, and I kind of want to talk to you guys about the way that these teams kind of made it here. The Dragons started out slow and then really turned it on to finish 7-3. The Monkeys had a slow start and a semi-slow finish, but they still were able to get on top of the Terra Conference at 6-4. When it comes to these two teams, is there a specific player for people to watch out for that you guys think?
Oh yeah, 1000%. I would say for the Dragons, it would have to be Kimono. I mean, dude's an 11.3. He's the highest salary in Origin right now. He's got a 5.52 MVPR. That's the second highest in the league. He's got the second highest points per game, and he's like number 4 in every single other category in Origin. That guy is a stud in Origin.
Southpaw, anybody for you?
I think it's gonna because wasn't it Barnsley that had issues with connection?
Yes,
Uh,
sir.
I believe so. Yes.
Yeah, I think
Barnes.
if he gets those connection issues fixed, and if he pops off like he has been, I think it should be a close series.
So if I had to make you guess, how many games do you think that one's going to go?
I think 6.
I think 6 as well.
So you guys think 6? I actually think it might only go 5. This Dragons team has been an absolute menace when it comes to having the offensive pressure. I just don't know if these Monkeys boys are going to be able to keep up with that as well as some of the other teams that beat the Dragons. Because one of the wild card is going to be Kamikaze Mook. Definitely going to be a wild card in that game for sure. Everybody overlooks him and just sees Kimono, but he's had a lot to do with that team.
Well, he's a reserve now. But I think for predictions on this match that if J-Mans really shows up, because I think Barnes, he's a defensive beast, and he's showed that off in Origin. If J-Mans can come out and really perform, that the Monkeys can take that. And I believe in Chris's dream. Maybe this is the one Monkeys team that makes it all the way to a championship and wins it all.
Shout out
Uh,
to Chris with a K there for sure.
I mean, they're already making franchise history. Why not go on and get the first championship? Go on and get it out the way. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Dragons in 6.
I think the Dragons will take it in
I
6.
I think they're
Too
prepared,
much.
and I think they're too good.
Dragons have a really wide range of warm up strategies. So we'll have to see if it bites them in the butt or if it actually helps in that one. And now on to our favorite league because it's a league that we are in. Over to a depth league. This is the game that is it's gonna decide if the Owls get themselves a championship or if the Vipers are able to be repeat champions. Who are you guys looking out for to really take control of this series?
Man, they could go a couple different ways. But I think if they can lock Lewis down on 1v1s, which that's mainly, I think that's primarily going to be Rico doing that. I think if they can accomplish that, I think the Vipers win, and I think they win convincingly. But
Yeah,
that's me. That's my opinion.
yeah, I think Lewis is the player to watch out for on on the Owls because he really runs that offense for the Owls. He stays aggressive. He's always pushing the ball, and if given the space, he will score. So if the Vipers can shut that down, then I think they can take it. If not, the Owls' aggressiveness might just take down the Vipers.
You guys also have to remember that the team of Lewis and Shea have had an unbelievable run within the last couple of weeks. So those two together, could that spell disaster for the Vipers?
Oh, absolutely. They're tough to beat. I mean, we know as well as anyone. We've played them almost 3 times. We've played some combination of that of the Owls 3
Yep.
times. So we know as well as anyone that they're extremely tough to beat, especially Lewis and Shea. But if you can bottle them up in their half and get some lucky balls to go in front of the net and get a couple goals, that way you can beat them. You just have to win some 50s and have to keep it off of your half and keep the shadow defense to a minimum. You just challenge it early and keep it in their half, and that's the key. That's the key to the game. If they can do that, I think the Vipers will win.
Yeah.
Debbie, you have any comment for that?
Um, I know the Vipers have been talking about how they have secret strategies to take out players like that. So I'm hoping they can, bring that out, especially in the championship match here against what would be the play style that they've spoken about. And so if they can do that, and the Vipers are certainly capable, I think the Vipers can take it.
To agree with both of your guys' calls on that. Uh, I think if the Vipers play up to their competition, which will most likely they will see Lewis and Shea in that game. If they have the confidence to be able to go into that game, then I think the Vipers will be able to take it. However, they do have to be able to shut down Shea and Lewis, which has just been an absolute powerhouse of a team. So it's definitely gonna be a game to watch. It's gonna be an exciting one, but I think that it's only gonna go 5, and I'm not gonna give my prediction just yet. I will wait for a little bit. But let's move on to Expert League. The Coyotes taking on the Hydras. What are you guys looking for? Are you looking for some mechanical plays, or are you looking for the catch the person out or go for the demo play?
I think uh, looking out for the demo and bump plays, especially with the Yeti driving around on the field. He's definitely going to be looking for those demos and bumps. He's been doing that all season. So the Hydras definitely are going to have to be using that reverse cam a bit.
I think a lot of the passing plays are going to be what you're going to want to keep an eye out for. Granted, I know people like to go. Well, I know Yeti likes to go head hunting a lot. That's just part of his play style. But I think it's going to come down to passing as well, as just hitting the open man and trying to take some shots and trying to win by volume of shots. Just some of them are going to go in, so I feel like that's that's a direction they can look at.
Yeah, and that Hydras and Griffins game, we saw a lot of passing plays done by Local and KSN. So that's definitely going to be something that the Coyotes are going to have to watch out for. Try to cut those passes off and find themselves in possibly 1v2 situations. I think that's just me. I'm just a host of a show. I don't do anything else. I'm not special or anything. So I can provide my opinion and not get absolutely slaughtered for it. But that being said, who do you think takes this one, and how many games do you think it goes?
I think the Hydras might be a better team on paper, but my heart says Coyotes and Coyotes in 7. But on paper, the Hydras are a better team. I feel like.
Okay, Debbie, what you got for me?
So that's the thing. On paper, every single team the Coyotes have taken down in playoffs have been the better team. They had to go through the Owls, they had to go through the Eagles, and the Coyotes are just able to adapt every single time and take over the game. So, despite the Hydras looking like the better team on paper, I think we're going to see some of that adaptiveness come into play, and the Coyotes take it in 7.
I do have to ask this out of all four of those players, because I know both of you have seen all four of them play. I'm Yeti being in Origin last season, making his way up into Expert. And you guys have tuned into some of the streams with Comus, Local, and Kaysen playing. Who are you looking to have the pop? Who do you think is going to have that pop off game?
I feel like if local starts popping off, I feel like it's over. I feel like that would that's going to go against. I know it goes against what we said, but if local pops off, I think they're going to have trouble dealing with that. But then on the same token, if Yeti makes some effective plays and stuff, I think that's the reverse side of that.
I think the player to watch out for from the Hydras is Kaysen. We know what Local's capable of, and if Kaysen starts getting in his groove and starts scoring a lot, then the Coyotes are in trouble. But like you said, on the reverse side, if Yeti's able to get those demos and create those opportunities for Comus, he's gonna sink those shots every single time.
These teams finished out the regular season 8-2, and they find themselves in the finals now. So it's definitely going to be an interesting game to watch. I don't know whether I can call this one down the middle just yet. Again, like I said, I'm saving all my predictions here for in a little bit. But we're going to move on to Star League. We've got the Hydras taking on the Owls. The Hydras made up of the team of Shadonic Sifri and Alpha Doggy, as well as the Owls. And somebody's gonna have to give me some information here. Hopefully,
Laggy Puppy, Magic, and
Laggy
Cruising
Puppy,
Kid.
Magic, and who else?
Cruising Kid.
Cruising Kid. Yeah, that's right. Be interesting to see who both of these teams send. If I had to guess, it would be Shadonic and Sifri for the Hydras, and probably Magic and Laggy Puppy for the Owls. This is like on paper these two teams sort of match up, but at the same time they don't. If that makes any sense to you guys.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd have to agree. Owls with Magic and Laggy Puppy. I'm pretty sure they're newer to the league, so them going on this incredible run and making it to the finals, like that's pretty impressive for them for their I think it would be their first seasons.
Southpaw?
Man, what are we doing? Are we doing predictions or what?
We're taking a look at the fact on paper both of these teams look equal, but at the same time that they don't look equal.
Gotcha.
Because the run that Shadonic and Sifri go on whenever they decide to start popping off and play off of each other is just it's very hard to stop.
Shade doing shade things, man. That's what it is. Shade doing shade stuff, man. If Shade goes to popping off, we've seen him. I mean, I think he's tough to stop.
I'm gonna have to agree with you on that one. Um, we'll get into the prediction for that one because I know that's going to be a good game. But we're going to move into Elite League, and this is I don't care what anybody says. I don't like it. It doesn't bother me. The simple fact is that this is going to be the game of the season. Because on one side, we're going to have the Huskies on an absolute tear, who are undefeated, going for that undefeated season like the Eagles did last season. But they're taking on the Colts of Emilio and Soares, who play off each other so well and are always there for a pass, for a shot, anything like that. So despite their records being off from each other, this one is going to be the game of the season. Do I have some agreement here?
I don't know because I feel like all the other series should be pretty close too. But I mean, it's been proven the last time these teams played that it did go to Game 5. So I mean, it should be on paper a very close series.
Yeah,
The first matchup only went to 4. The second one did go to 5, with the Huskies taking that one.
oof. Yeah, I think this is going to be definitely a high octane, high scoring series right here, and I I think it'll go to 6. I think it'll go to 6, and
6. Whew. Well,
I want it to go to 7.
I like content for content's sake, and I would love to see Game 7. And you know what I would love to see even more than Game 7?
Game 8.
Game 8. If there's an 8th game, that would be 5 minutes of overtime. So that would be a whole new game. But either way, Game 7 overtime, and I think that's when this one's going to end. If I'm being completely honest with you.
Oh man, that'd be so good, especially at the Elite League. Man,
Oh,
the gameplay is so fun to watch.
My heart wouldn't be able to take it, but I'd love to see it. So, that being said, let's go ahead and shift from talking about where these teams, how these teams got here to the point that they have. And let's do some predictions. So, what's going to happen here is we're going to take our time on these. If you guys want to put some thought process and put some thoughts out there about, each of these players, by all means, go for it. But we're going to start in Origin, and we've got the Monkeys taking on the Dragons. The thought process earlier was it depends who shows up. So Southpaw, who takes this one?
All right, I think the Dragons are. I just think they're going to show up, and I think they're going to play a little bit better, and I think they're going to get it in 6. I think it's going to be 4-2 Dragons.
Debbie.
I believe in the heart of the Monkeys. They take it in 7.
We got two different of opinions on the desk. For me, I'm going to have to go with the Dragons because I have seen these two boys play absolute pop-off Rocket League. Kimono, Debbie, like you said earlier, Kimono is an absolute beast. And I think if he's able to break out and not get shut down, I think the Dragons take this one easily. And I'm even going to be bold enough to say within 5. I think J-Mans and Saucy come out swinging in the first game, and then the Dragons readjust. On to the Adept League finals. We have the Owls taking on the Vipers. Should be a really good game. Debbie, What you got for me?
I'm rooting for the Vipers. I think they take it in. I think they take it in 6.
Paul?
I'm so conflicted because because
A tough match.
I really think the Owls are going to give the Vipers a lot of trouble. I do. I just I feel it, and I think they're going to give them a lot of trouble. But my heart says Vipers in 7. But I really on paper I think the Owls not only match up, they might even be a slightly better team when they're both on. But there's something about Rico and Sticks postseason that's just a different animal.
It just hits different whenever Rico and Sticks are in the postseason, especially whenever they're in their second finals, looking to be repeat champions. So I am going to go with the Vipers. I believe in my boys Rico and Sticks. Hopefully they and we'll definitely have to see if they can find themselves another championship. But that being said, if Shea and Lewis come to play, they come to play, and then the Owls will give them a lot of trouble. But even still, I still think the Vipers are able to readjust and make changes where they need to, and I think they take it in 6.
Yeah, hopefully Lewis is feeling better and we can come out.
Yes,
It was
absolutely.
a great game.
On to expert Hydras taking on the Owls. Or I'm sorry, Hydra's taking on the Coyotes. I got one league ahead of myself. I'm sorry, guys. I didn't mean to. Hydra's taking on the Coyotes. Southpaw.
All right. So, like I said earlier, on paper, the Hydras might be a better team, but like Deb said earlier, the Coyotes have always been the not necessarily the better team going into playoff matchups, and they still managed to find a way to get it done. So I think this is one more step. I think the Coyotes are going to get it done. I think they're going to adapt, they're going to improvise, and they're going to win it in 6.
Debbie.
Yeah, I'm going for an underdog thing here. I'm gonna be cheering for the Coyotes. I think they take it in 7 though.
Mm-mm. Man, you leave me in a tough position because I don't always like going against the desk, but with the way that local and KSN play, if they are able to get their stuff together and be on the same page throughout the entire series, I think the Hydras take it in 5, and that is only if they're able to catch Yeti and Comus uh, off kilter, and that's not a very easy thing to do because Yeti and Comus have had an absolute amazing season playing together with the Coyotes. They're going to be a hard team to take down. I just I yeah I'm going to go with the Hydras in 5. So moving on to Star League now. Now this is the one that I was trying to say. We've got the Hydras taking on the Owls. That's what I was trying to say last, and it didn't exactly pan out that way. But that being said, Debbie, give me some thoughts here. Who do you think takes this one?
Oh man, you got the new kids on the block taking on Shade and Sifri, the dynamic duo. Man, this is gonna be a good match. I think I personally have this one as the match of the week. You know, the one to watch. Uh, man, I really like underdogs, but I think the duo of Shade and Sifri might be a little bit too much for the Owls to handle. I think the Hydras take it
So
in 5.
so Debbie going Hydras in 5. Southpaw, what you got?
Man, I got to go with my boy Shade and Sifri. I got to go with the boys. I'm gonna say 4-2 in 6 games. Hydras.
Man, he's going bold and brash, saying the Hydra's going to win 4 and the Owl's only going to win 2. Should be a really interesting game. I'm gonna have to agree with both of you and say Hydras for this one. But I would not be surprised if the Owls come out firing and take a quick 1 or 2 games off of the Hydras. But either way, I mean these two teams did play each other in the regular season. So and I do not know what the results of those games were. but even still, I think the team of Shade and Sifri going to be a little bit much. So I'm also going to go with Hydras, but I'm going to say 7. I'm going to say it goes the whole length of the series,
Ooh, that'd be great.
which now is the fun one. We move to Elite League. We have the undefeated Huskies. That team made up of Lottie Lettuce and Tater taking on the Colts, team made up by Milio and Soares. Give me some thoughts on this because I don't even know how to call this one. We're going to start with Southpaw.
All right. Obviously, all 4 exceptional players. Should be. It has all the makings of a great series. With that being said, I think the Colts are gonna be a little different this time, and I think they're gonna take it in Game 7.
Debbie?
Oh, putting me in a tough spot. Soares and Emilio have looked amazing this season, but the Huskies are also 10-0. They literally haven't been defeated yet. So, I don't think they want to go into the finals and have it be the one time that they lose. So I think they're going to be really trying their hearts out, and I think the Huskies take it in hopefully Game 7.
So I too am hoping for a Game 7. But see, here's the thing. Here's the thing that kind of bothers me a little bit. This Huskies team, when they drop a game, it's like they just turn it on to a whole nother level. And I don't know if Milio and Soares have been able to figure that out because those are the only 2 losses that the Colts took was to the Huskies. So the Huskies have had their number for 2 weeks. But do they have what it takes? And do they have enough fuel in the tank to be able to take the Colts to be able to excuse me, do the Colts have enough in the tank to take it to the Huskies as quick as possible? Because that's what's going to win them this series. If the Colts come out firing, I think they give the Huskies a harder time than they did in the first 2 series. Now, granted, the second meeting between these 2 teams went to 5. The first one went to 4. So we know that the Colts can we know that Milio and Soares definitely can hang with Lottie Lettuce and Tater. But on paper, the Huskies should take this one easily. As much as I enjoy hearing Tater's voice on stream, I have to go with the Colts. But it's going to go to Game 7. We're going to have overtime. And hopefully I don't end up cursing myself because I have really bad habit of being cursed, one, not only on here, because I have not gotten very many games correct calling them, but I really think that the Colts can come out and really fire on all cylinders. And Debbie, I have to ask you, if the Colts come out firing on all cylinders, can the Huskies recover?
I think so. They're both similar salaries, and the way that the Huskies play, I think that they'll be able to adapt, and even if they lose, they'll still keep the series competitive and continue to win another game or two and take it off the Colts.
Paul, what do you think? Let me get some of your thoughts on this. Because if the Colts do come out, swinging, haymakers and just absolutely putting the Huskies on the back foot, can the Huskies recover it?
Isn't that what the Eagles did last season in the finals against the Huskies? They come out swinging, didn't they? And they just overwhelmed them, and they never got it together enough to get a game.
Yeah.
It could go like that. Sometimes it's like that. I don't think it'll be like that though, because I think I think the Huskies are too good to let that happen. So I think the Colts will come out hot, get a game or two. The Huskies will adapt and get a game or two, and then they'll battle it out. Maybe get us a game 7. We'll see.
In that case, final thoughts from you guys. Obviously, all of this taking place tomorrow, and game of the night tomorrow. We've got all 5 games happening. What do you guys think the game of the night's going to be?
What I think it's going to be, where I always hope Origin is just a knockout game 7 for some reason. That seems awesome. I'm just
Somebody hits a flip reset in Origin.
Somebody's hitting the stealing shot double touch in Origin.
Flip reset, musty flip double tap.
In OT. I feel like Elite's got all the makings for it, but I'm going to go out on a limb and say I'm going to say Adept's going game 7. I know that goes against what I said earlier, but maybe. I don't know.
So Adept is game of the week or game of the night for you.
I think so. I think it's going to be an exciting one.
Debbie, what do you think the game of the night's going to be tomorrow?
I'm going to say Star League, Owls versus Hydra. Shade, Sifri. If they come out swinging, they're going to put on an incredible performance. But I'm really excited to see the duo of Laggy Puppy and Magic come out. I'm really hoping that they really show up and prove everybody wrong and show that they're better than the Hydras.
I agree that's going to be a really good game, but I seriously think that the Huskies Colts game there's just going to be so much magic happening there. All 4 of those guys are just absolutely incredible, and I love watching all of them play. All of these guys are absolutely incredible, and they all deserve to be here in the finals. All the teams that are here definitely outplaying everybody else. But I still think that the elite league matchup is going to be the matchup to watch. So that being said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in to FDL Central tonight. But that being said, a special treat for you guys is coming up, as we will be getting ready to send you all over to Mr. Chris with a K. And if you did not see the announcement, he will be streaming a Mixer event. So please stick around here, and we will get you over to that whenever it begins. But make sure you come back next week, next Wednesday, as we wrap up Season 4 and we talk about something that we kind of missed out on last season, which was an All-Star game. You won't want to miss it. So next Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern, we will be right back here, and we will be talking to, and I love how I'm ruining this surprise now, but we're going to try to talk to all of the championship captains. So definitely make sure you tune in. So then if you don't catch the streams tomorrow, you can see who your winners were. That being said, thank you guys again so much for joining us. Be sure to come back tomorrow at 7 p.m. We're going to be getting started with Elite League. And we have a special treat for you coming at 9 and 10 o'clock tomorrow. Or 9, 10, and 11 tomorrow. So make sure that you are here for that. As for me, KJ, I am signing off for now. Thank you again to Southpaw and Little Debbie for appearing here tonight. And big thank you and big shout out to Robot Man, our streamer, who has always come through for me. Thank you so much, my friend. We will see you guys next week on Wednesday. Make sure you're there.